a moment to get situated.
452 for a gallon of regular, well below the average. 472 for mid-grade, way below average. And guess what?
Could you mute your phones, please? Yes. Thank you so much. Welcoming everybody in, just giving everybody 2 seconds to join the room before. Welcome, welcome. Peace.
Hello, everyone.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, we are recording. Anyone that does not wish to be recorded can leave at this time. My name is Special Ed. I'm the founder of the Special Ed Arts and Literacy Foundation organization. And we are doing this in conjunction with the Hip Hop Alliance and the Stop the Violence movement. And how this reflects is, this is one of our pathways to trying to put an end to violence or stop violence is through education and engagement. In this session today, Saturday, nice and early, so everyone's refreshed, we have a special group of youth in the building. They're called the Young and Informed. Now, I came across this group through one of my young artists, City the Great, and he had been networking with them, and I invited them to the Hip Hop Alliance call, and we found that they had a lot of concerns, content, topics that they wanted to cover in terms of understanding things as youth. And I think that with my experience and my whole life coming from a youth that had to, empower myself, I like to understand what the youth have to say, because it was only in me being able to express myself and someone listening that I was able to achieve my goals and get to where I needed to get to, and at the age of 15 years old. So with that being said, I would like to, for one, commend Mr. Top Bear, because he has allowed his children to speak and have a voice. A lot of times, especially coming down from generations, parents don't necessarily concern themselves with their children's creative ideas and concerns concerning the things that they want. Parents know what they want for their children and are really aggressive about that, and oftentimes won't listen. And when I say listen, listen wholeheartedly. They'll listen to give them the moment to say what they have to say, but in terms of consideration, understanding, and care. So I want to, Mr. Talk Bear, just congratulate you on your efforts, and as a father, out here in today's day and time, and allowing your youth to speak their minds. And I would like to introduce Noah and Matthew as the Young and Informed, and Mr. Talk Bear, if you would like to say anything prior to it, to the children, just as their father, and just some encouragement to other fathers as well, because I think that it's important for other fathers to understand that there are ways that you can deal with your children and handle them that allow them to shine and express themselves vividly, and be able to help, the family dynamic, the situation they're in, the situation you're in, perhaps. So if you'd like to join in, and then we like to introduce Noah and Matthew, the Young and Informed.
I'd just like to say thank you very much, Special Ed, and shout out to City the Great and Simi Lay and the different people that we were networking that led us here. And Noah and Matthew, I'm very proud of you. We speak all the time, and I'm just blessed to be given the wisdom to understand that I'm just a guide here for them, and that their true father is the one in heaven, and that that humbles me in dealing with them and understanding that their voice, is very powerful, and just supporting them when they have ideas, and making sure that I am able to step up to the plate to make sure that they can follow those dreams and follow those ideas and guide them on how to take accountability and formulating and getting those things through. So it's been a blessed journey. It's been a purpose given journey. And I tell people all the time, I found my purpose when my first son was born, and it just grew when Matthew joined the team. So I'm blessed to have this fatherhood and to be the father of these two dynamic young kings coming up. And hello, and I want to greet everybody in the YouTube today. I'm in the Zoom today. But thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Now, to introduce myself, as you all know, my name is Noah, and I'm one of the CEOs of Young and Informed. Now, Young Informed Media LLC is our company that is about bridging the gap between real-life experiences and traditional classroom book learning. We've created many marketing avenues to do this, but our favorite is our educational podcast called Conversations with Noah and Matthew, where we host guests and highlight any STEAM building attributes in whatever area of expertise our guests come from. You can find this on our Instagram at Young Informed Media LLC, and you can find this on our YouTube, Young Informed Media.
And to introduce myself, my name is Matthew. I am the other CEO of Young Informed. And adding on to what Noah said, we then turn those attributes into our own interactive curriculum where school kids get to meet and engage with our guests at their school. We don't stop there, though. We inform kids around the world on whatever important issues are important for kids to know, like health and wellness, civics, what we call knowing your history, diversity and inclusion, highlighting the importance of fighting against hate through spreading positivity and love throughout the world. There are many things important for kids to be informed about, and that's why we're here to show them. Information is ever changing, and we adapt with it to better our community, starting with us children. We are the future, and the future is now.
We use our curriculum to bridge the gap between the real world and the classroom by showcasing people's purpose, passion, and their area of expertise while also highlighting STEAM building and what they do. We've done many community outreach events, and we've leveraged relationships with local city leaders to help strengthen our community. We've done things like Stop the Hate rallies, tours with the mayor of New York to empower Black businesses in our community, and we've interviewed community activists and mission workers like Kevin Livingston of 100 Suits.
Let me tell you guys something. So we are positioned as some of the youngest licensed NYC DOE vendors. Crazy, right? Our podcasts are used as our curriculum, referring to STEAM building, which helps to show how real life is used outside of the classroom. We also have our youth empowering youth segments. We have self-teaching, health and wellness, karate, working out, eating, and all that healthy stuff. We also have the power of using hip hop as education to make learning fun. We also have our network TV segments on Channel 12. So for the segments, my segment is called Dynamite Dinos, where I share information about different species of dinosaurs and how they eat and information like that. And Noah's segment is called Technology Time with Noah, where he shows tips and advancements and everything like that for technology and basically like a how-to guide for computers and stuff like that. We also have our Youth Leadership Award for 2021 from New York State senators, congressmen, and etc.
We are budding artists who write our own rhymes centered around our movement and positivity in our community. That's right, you heard me. We're bringing back powerful messages in hip hop. Now, youth empowering youth with us as an example shows that when empowered, there's nothing that you can't do. So that was an introduction to Young and Informed. But now we're going to go over how Matthew and I became Young and Informed. And now there are 3 topics to today's knowledge cipher. 1 is parental involvement in school. 2 is getting involved as youth leaders in our school community. And 3 is approaches to accountability and confidence during the shutdown. Now, to start off with how important parental involvement in school is, make sure that parents are involved in your school community. It's good to build positive relationships with not only the teachers, but the students as well. School helps make, when your parents involved in your school community, it helps make a welcoming place for your children.
Yep. It also, parents' involvement builds good role model qualities for children.
So, for example, our father is very involved in our school community. The security guards know him, which causes protection for Matthew and I because they know that Matthew and I are good children and that our father is a good dad. So, it also creates a protection for your kids if you involve yourself in the school community. Now, getting involved as youth leaders in your own school community is very important to becoming young and informed. It's important not to only be involved in your school community, but in your neighborhood's community as well. For example, like I stated earlier, we have done Stop the Hate rallies, we've interviewed Kevin Livingston from 100 Suits, received the Youth Leadership Award of the Year from State Congress, and we've done mayor tours with de Blasio and Eric Adams to cover areas of economic improvement that would benefit businesses in our community.
This topic shows us that it's important to lead and not to follow. For example, like he said, the Stop the Hate rally. There are a bunch of child leaders that helped the rally, and we were part of the many children who led the march, and we didn't just follow. We were screaming, "Stop the hate, spread the love." So that shows that not just we shouldn't follow people. You should be a leader yourself.
Now, getting involved as a youth leader in your school community builds example for other children around you on what leadership looks like. For example, being involved in your school community means being an active participant in class, making sure you raise your hand, walking with purpose to the next class so you make sure that you're not late and you know where you're going.
And also help making teachers' jobs easier by handing out worksheets and helping students, etc. And you also have to walk with purpose to your next class. Don't hang out in the hallways talking to your friends and then be late to your class. You have to go where you have to go with purpose.
And make sure that you can do extra things too and take initiative. You can help clean the cafeteria if it's left dirty, for example. If you finish eating, everyone's going to recess, and you see that the cafeteria still has some spots that could be cleaned, you can help the staff out and clean the cafeteria with them because that builds character and it shows the community that you are a good person who takes initiative, but make sure not to do it for others' image. Make sure to do it for your own personal goals as well, because what you think of yourself matters the most, not what other people think. Now, approaches to accountability and confidence during the shutdown. This one speaks to me a lot because during the shutdown, one of the main things I did was I was a debate team member and I practiced public speaking on a daily basis. I did this virtually, of course, because the shutdown, nobody could go anywhere. But I did this to keep my mind active because in the pandemic, there wasn't there weren't many face-to-face interactions you could get. So people got used to not talking as much, just texting, and their speaking ability seemed to go to an all-time low. So what I did to prevent this from happening is I joined the debate team, I practiced public speaking, and that actually helped me speak like I am speaking right now with a certain caliber. And I remember that my dad would give us tips on how to speak. He would give us this tap tap method where when you're speaking in the debate team or just speaking in general, you say a fact, tap tap, and then another sentence. So that's how our dad taught us to be good public speakers.
And this also impacted me greatly. Wait, I said that wrong. This also impacted me greatly because I looked at many self empowerment learning videos. I looked at how to improve myself in different topics, such as I learned how to do different moves for karate. And I studied that every day until I got the right move. And I also wanted to learn how to draw better. Like for comics, I want to be an author when I grow up. So I just look at videos and I see tips and topics like that, and it helped me daily.
Adding on to what Matthew said, you don't just have to learn about professions you want to take on. That is a good thing to do, to study every day. But if you want to learn something quickly, like instead of playing video games or being on your device 24/7 doing fun things, learning is fun as well. So you can do productive things with the devices you have. So you can just like learn new information every day, which is helpful. Like what I do is I search up something random every day. Like I didn't know how a light bulb worked, so I searched up on YouTube how does a light bulb work, and it just helps me learn new information every day. So it's like a goal you can set for yourself, which is really important. Goals. That's a really important thing about being young and informed. So I would set a goal. Today I want to learn about this, and it would just be one video a day, and it's something quick and fun you can do. Now, another thing that Matthew and I did during the shutdown is we created productive hobbies for ourselves. So during the pandemic, a lot of people didn't get to pursue the hobbies they had and did in person. And that happened to Matthew and I as well. We used to go to the karate dojo, the actual dojo, but then the pandemic happened. We couldn't go to the dojo. So our dad started training us at home. And our productive hobbies like playing the piano, reading, practicing karate, board games. There's a variety of different things that are productive that you can do to take up your time and also have fun with.
Yep, and that leads to my next topic, time management. So you don't have to spend the whole day on one thing. And you could just do many different activities with time management. You could do an hour on reading, an hour on learning how to play the piano or any instrument you want, and then an hour on drawing or anything that you have passion for. You must have time management and a schedule for what you want to do and what activities you want to cover.
Adding on to what Matthew said, during the pandemic, we had a certain schedule and we followed the time frame of the schedule so we could go on with our day in an orderly conduct. Now, you have to have obtainable goals. If your goal for the day is to learn a certain piano song, then make a schedule around what you want to do. So, for example, our schedule in the morning, we eat breakfast, and then I remember our homeschool schedule too. When we were homeschooled, I was homeschooled in the seventh grade, and Matthew was homeschooled in the sixth grade, and we had a schedule that we followed so we could keep up with our school assignments. And even on the weekends, during the weekends, we would set a schedule for ourselves so that even if it's a day where we don't have school, we could still keep productive, but still have fun. And using examples from what parents did and applying it to what we do is something major about being young and informed. But remember, we're kids, so communicating with our parents and or guardians is a major part of being young and informed.
And I gotta say, being young and informed is an ever evolving process. It never ends, like technology. It's always updating.
Of course. And we would love to give a shout out to Special Ed, Corrupt, Curtis Blow, KRS-One, City the Great, Semi Lay, and a whole bunch of people who helped us on our journey to becoming young and informed and have been supporting us since day one, because really the support and the positive words that people like you guys give us fuels us to keep going, because it shows us that our purpose and passion is important. Just like all the people we interview and we see their purpose and passion, our purpose and passion and our area of expertise is important and really impactful as well.
And remember, everybody, real quick, take initiative. Just remember to take initiative. Don't wait for when people tell you to do stuff. Just take initiative, like all the topics that we said earlier. Do activities, everything like that. Take initiative.
And really quickly, where you can find us, you can contact and follow us on at Young Informed Media LLC on Instagram, and you can find our YouTube videos, Young Informed Media. That's where we hold our podcasts and all those different things. And that's pretty much it for our knowledge cipher. But like I said, shout out to everyone who's watching, everyone who supported us. We really appreciate you.
And I'm sure I thank you both. You spoke very eloquently and well thought, and that's really my point. That's what we need. That's how I was able to do the things I did, and I think you guys will reach far, far, far with this start and this approach to things. we definitely want to open the floor because I'm sure people would like to speak and say things to you. But I just wanted to just let you know that you are definitely headed on the right path. And you know, I know you have goals of many things that you want to be, but you're gonna be surprised how many doors open with the path you're taking. So you can be a writer, you can write comics, you can be a astrophysicist, you can drive a train, you can do whatever you feel like doing that's a passion and something that excites you and motivates you. But there are gonna be avenues and pathways that you guys are going to want to pay attention to as you progress with the young and informed, and just open your minds to helping others and being of service to other youth like yourself as well as adults, because I need Talk Beer to find some more kids. I need like 10 of y'all to hire to be running my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in the youth. I believe in the process. I believe in the capabilities. I think that if more youth took themselves as seriously as you take yourselves, we'd have a force to be reckoned with in with our youth in our community, and just in terms of progress, intelligence, and efficiency, getting things done. I think with the things you're doing now, you will be getting many things done on a large level. So just continue, and we definitely support you here at SEAL. And I'm so glad you came to do the Knowledge Cypher, and we can definitely engage and do more when you think of anything that you want to even talk about, because anything that is on the mind of our children is what we need to be concerned with as adults. And
Right.
yeah. So with that being said, I want to open the floor to anyone that would like to speak to the young and informed and have any comments, concerns, suggestions, or anything of the sort. The floor is now open.
I'm just gonna say, I commend, the parental foundation that was provided for these young and informed individuals. I'm very much impressed from not only today, from the first time I heard you guys speak. Very well spoken, very confident, and the multiplicity of the imprint that you guys are putting right now is definitely something that needs to be contagious to other youths your age group, and moving forward, like Special Ed alluded to. We need this. It's inspiring, and it brings a level of certain emotions within me, and I looked at the different faces and people smile at this because we're older than you, but we're looking at, I wasn't, speaking the way you're speaking when I was your age. So the runway that you got before liftoff, is really good for you. The altitude that you could reach to, and you could apply this to any aspects of your life. You could choose, like was stated, that you can choose to be whatever it is that you want. So don't limit, yourselves, to only what you've seen that's been done. Look at where you can push the envelope to even create new lanes and different create titles to how you approach things in life. Because the thing is that too many times as cookie cutters, you're just filling in. You don't have to be a basketball player again. A rapper, or so. If it is something that you wish to pursue, of course. But what I'm saying is that the world is yours, and you mold it in the fashion that you see, and what you don't see in it and that you choose to see in it is what you can create, and you can say, this is what this is because we define it as such. So that's the point that I'm looking to bring across. But not to be long-winded, I commend you guys, and keep that energy, keep that focus. It's easy to get distracted, but it's harder to stay focused. as long as I'm within reach, you know, whatever it is that my expertise or level of knowing can provide to assist you guys to continually move forward and fuel. I'm here. My name is Antoine, also known as Public. People unite because love is king. Brooklyn, Flatbush, New York. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. It's energy for me to kind of like, you know, see that we're doing the right thing also. We're in the right space at the right time, and thank you.
I appreciate those words. Thank you, Mr. Antoine, Mr. Public, I should say. I really appreciate it. See, like I said, words like those really inspire Matthew and I to keep going, you know, because positive words like that really shows, it really proves to us that what Matthew and I are doing is the right thing. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much for those kind words. Like they give us so much passion, and I just like how you said that. I like how you're saying something truthful, and I like how you executed how you were feeling. And basically, yeah, much love. Thank you.
I just want to say really fast, as somebody who is teaching young people who are at the college level, hip hop, I'm so impressed by you two. I almost wish you could come to my class and let some of the older kids hear how you speak about these things. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. I think you guys are really on the right path. And I know that when special ed came up with the concept for this whole program, he had kids like you in mind. And then he came to people like me and some of his other friends and told us his idea. And it was with kids like you in mind. You two keep rocking it out, keep doing what you're doing, and know that you're going to inspire so many other kids to want to do the same thing. It is cool to be smart, y'all. It's very cool to be smart, right? I'm
Yes.
so impressed with you. I'm so excited for what's going to happen for you. And I just can't wait to sit back and grab some popcorn and watch you guys as you grow. And I will definitely be here as a resource if you guys want to help with media training. Anything I can possibly do to shine a light on what you're doing, I want to be a part of that. You guys keep going, stay positive, stay focused, like you said, and keep your heads on straight. And you're going to have a whole group of people, grown folks who are like, whew, thank goodness we got them to take care of us as we get old. Okay. Keep doing it. I'm so proud of you and so impressed by you. You guys have a great Saturday.
You too. Thank you. And
Thank you so
to,
much.
to acknowledge what you said about the media training and about talking to your older students, we could definitely look into that. If you DM us, like I said, you could reach us at Young Informed Media LLC on Instagram, and we could talk to you about that.
Okay, I'm gonna keep Ed in the loop with that, because I think you need to be careful about letting adults just reach out and talk to you any old kind of way. But
Well, what they Talk Beer is their father and their grand.
oh,
You see their grandparents all the time. This is a
okay.
family about, you know, elders taking care of their children and children taking care of their elders all
That's
together.
great. That's
Yeah,
absolutely
no
great. I
mystery.
just want to be I just want to be on the safe side, and not just for me, but for all of us. We need to be
This
very
has been
mindful.
my life's experience, as you all know. Like, if you don't know my story, I've been from, you know, that age as a teenager and come into a harsh industry, and, you know, been taken advantage of, been given contracts, been dragged in different directions as far as, you know, career. However, this is my job now, is to make sure that these youth coming out wanting to participate in entertainment, sports, politics, whatever, get the opportunity in a more serious and direct path without being misled. This is an organization that's about youth empowerment and the protection of our youth. So that's what we're here doing. And we wanted the Young and Informed to be able to just talk about whatever's on their minds and whatever the youth is concerned about. And we're here to address. They may have questions for us, you know what I mean? So, like, it's an open discussion. This is what the Knowledge Cypher is about. And we thank you for coming, Scott. And we, you know, my wife and I really been praying for you, and, you know, just to be not so specific, but you know, Sky's just in her situation in life, going through things with health. And I just want to thank you for even coming here at this time and being a part of this. We love you. Thank you so much.
I love you all, and you know, nothing but death would keep me from you. So
Amen. Amen.
I'm not feeling the greatest today, but I was like, if I don't show up, it's gonna get worried. So let me get up in here. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Amen. Thank you.
Love to her.
I also see some hands up. So if you want to just jump in, you're welcome to. It's an open table.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.
Hello.
I had a question. I remember when I was in school, the curriculum a lot of times wasn't things that, even at a young age, I felt were not necessarily beneficial in that time frame. And I didn't think that they were going to be beneficial as I grew in age. And I was curious regarding the course curriculums that you guys have experienced, if you had any thoughts on what you would change in the schools and what the students are learning today. Yeah, peace.
Well, for me to answer that question, I feel like the regular school curriculum, my thoughts on it really was there wasn't enough, especially in social studies, oddly specific, but especially in social studies, there wasn't enough representation or more than just one race. Like, there, to be specific, there wasn't enough representation for Black people. And I remember when I was around when I was in second grade, every day after school, our dad made this new like activity that we would have to search up about one Black scientist, one Black this, that, to learn more about not just the history they teach us in school, but about Black history too, to see what our ancestors have done and what people like us have done. And so that's what I thought about the school curriculum growing up. And that's really why Matthew and I provide a more equal and representative curriculum as Young and Informed.
What are your thoughts, Matthew?
Same for me. I think that the school curriculum needs more representation for more than one race. Like, I think it should be basically, yeah, what Noah said. I agree. And if I was to change something in the school curriculum, I would probably make how do I say this? Like, basically, if a student's going through like a bad time, like for example, if they're getting bullied or something, I would at least make the schools more aware about it, because I've seen, especially in elementary school, sometimes I've seen like bullying bullying incidents, and the schools don't really do much about it. They just say stay away from them. That's it. And then the second time it happens, stay away from them. So I think schools should make it more should be more aware, and they should just, you know, do something else about bullying or any other problems for a student.
And that reminds me, like nowadays, like when I was in elementary school, we used to have SEL class, social emotional learning. Now in middle school, they don't really do that anymore, because I think that they expect once kids start getting older that their emotions get less and less important or need to be like talked about. And I really disagree with that. No matter what age you are, I feel like age doesn't matter. Feelings are feelings. Everyone's humans. Your feelings need to be spoken about.
You know, and I want to say, to tap in on that, you know, with like parents, like one of the things my sons, like, I remember I was doing a barbecue one day and I said, you know, it just hit me. I said, let me tap in with them and check in with them. It was early in elementary school, and we were sitting around the table in the backyard, and I said, what is your understanding of yourself based on the education that you've had so far in school? So where do we come from? And Noah looked at me and said, we come from slavery. And I said, oh, okay. And that's when I knew I had to get busy. And I said, well, okay, now we're going to have to, I said, every lesson that you have in school, that we're gonna follow their curriculum, but we're gonna put your face to it, because there is a representation for everything that you're learning in school that also you can identify with and see yourself in the mirror that has accomplished and done things of that nature, And then in doing that, I saw that it inspired them, it gave them that confidence. And then when they started doing Young and Informed and doing their podcast conversations they had a mindset of being more inclusive and reaching out to different communities. I remember we started off doing this and doing that. And they're like, well, Dad, no, I want to branch out here and I want to branch out there. And I said, okay, let's go and tell all these different stories, because they understood and connected that with the way that they felt when in those classrooms. So, tapping in with your children and just asking simple questions, like that excellent question you asked just now, is you'll get a lot of information in the direction on how to support them and guide them. Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's what it is. Because I remember things still to this day. And that's a common misconception, right? Is that the African is not a slave. The history of the African is much deeper than that, but it's just the mainstream representation of it. But I just remember the frustrations that I had, especially in like adolescence, like 10 to 17. And that's peace. Keep building. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Matthew, that was an important point with the bullying too. That's so important. Very, very important point, to support the children and make sure their voices are heard within the education system too, because a lot of it, like Matthew said, is kind of just pushed to the side. Hey, just stay away, and not dealt with the emotional side of what's going on and how to mediate that. How do we stop that? So, we've had situations where I had to really get involved and say, hey, you're quick to jump. You're quick to be punitive and just put them on, say they're on detention or label this and label that. But I've learned over the time, when the teachers swarm you with information, I don't react right away. I'll say, I'll speak to my sons, I'll get back to you, let me get the full story, because not every teacher's, and shout out to all the teachers out there, but everybody's human. You want to make sure you get the full information. And by doing that, I've also helped educate other parents on helping build their children's self-esteem. Because when a child really feels strong about something, and they know they're going through that experience, and a lot of times the teachers go to the parents, and the parents just believe it, just say, okay, the teacher said that, and they come down on the child. And next thing you know, that starts day in and day out beating on their confidence. So I've learned to have uncomfortable conversations sometimes with teachers, and say, look, no, I'm not going to just take it for face value. I know my children as well. I'm going to hear all parts, and then I'll get back to you. I'm not going to respond right away. And in doing that, it helped Noah and Matthew get through frustrating situations, feeling like their voices are heard. And that allowed them to communicate more and open up more and speak out more, so those are excellent points and excellent questions that you guys brought up.
Amen. I see some more hands up. We're going to let the lady go first, and then we have Rilla G and Casey. So Ms. Tamika Lee, if you want to say something.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Special Ed, for inviting me to this summit. I'm eating right now. I'm at the restaurant, so excuse me if y'all hear some noise, but I just want to say that I'm very proud, Takdir, of you allowing your children to follow their passion, follow their dream, and at the same time making an impact on this world, and especially the youth. Y'all have encouraged me, Noah and Matthew, because I'm building my youth development program, and I'm learning from youth. And that's really important, because it don't matter how we learn, as long as we learn, and we can get a lot from the younger generations. What encouraged me or inspired me is when you talk about social and emotional learning, SEL. When you know about that as a youth, that put a smile on my face, because that's something that I learned, that I have to learn to implement into the program that I'm having. So I want to say, like, when I was in college, I didn't follow my passions in the arts and things like that, because they told me that it wouldn't go anywhere, and to focus on something like getting a job. But I want to tell you all to continue to follow your dream, follow your passion, follow your heart, and your path of destiny, your assignment, and don't let nothing derail you. Always listen to your parent, your dad, because he's a good lead for you all. Continue to impact, continue to influence. And I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you all. You encouraged me today. You inspired me. God bless you all. And I'm looking to see where God will take you, because I know you're going to go far and you can reach the children of your generation and help change this world. I'm proud of y'all, and you're good young leaders. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the kind words.
Thank you. Thank you so much for those encouraging, powerful words.
Amen. We
You're
have
welcome.
Real G would like to say something to the youth.
Yes, I do, brother.
Yes,
First,
sir.
I would like to say, respect Matthew, respect Noah, your hip hop. And I'm telling you why, your attitude. You empower people. And that's what's up. More than rapping and all that, you know, in the cultural way we do things, the best thing is represent. And you represent, definitely, you represent knowledge, represent being knowledgeable rebels. This is what hip hop is all about, you know. Education was our first thing with Booker T. Washington, and Marvin Gaye being inspired by Booker T. Washington up from slavery. Education, read. And I can see clearly you are the reflection of your father, because your father did a great job with both of you, you know, motivate you to study, you know, motivate you to be knowledgeable. And this is how you break out of the system when you're knowledgeable. You got the keys of success, you know? And with the keys of success, you open the doors for many others who don't have the same father as you have, you know, because your father motivates you. A lot of kids don't have that blessing in their houses, you know. And this is how you came in with a blessing for others. But so many others, respect, you know what I mean? And follow your heart. Always follow your heart. No matter the environment we came from, if we learn with the negative and promote the best, we're doing a great job. This is what we all supposed to be doing, you know? No matter your age, no matter your heart, your mind, the way you articulate your message, because we learn with each other every single day. I just want to say this, respect all the family, you know, and one love.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Real G. And I see Casey, if you'd like to chime in. I know you had your hand up.
Good morning, everybody. From the West Coast, good afternoon on the East Coast. Similar to Sky, I also teach young adults in an upper educational setting. My job title is instructor and mentor. And on the SEAL website, I noticed that y'all have a big focus on mentoring. So my question for Ed, Matthew, and Noah, how approachable are the teachers that you have? And do you feel that it's important to be able to find mentorship in the classroom? Or do you enjoy or prefer having separate organizations outside the classroom where you can find mentorship and support?
So to answer that question, my teachers are really approachable. I have good teachers. They're good people and they're approachable. And to answer the second part of your question, a little bit of both. Like mentorship in the classroom or mentorship classes in school and as well outside of school is really helpful. Because the thing is, when it comes to mentorship, you want to have someone that you look up to as a role model, as a good person. And the thing is that not a lot of children have good role models like Matthew and I do. So what because Matthew and I, we have basically our whole family as a role model. Our grandparents, our father, uncles, aunts, our mother, everyone in our family is someone to look up to. But some kids are not as fortunate and they don't have that. So Matthew and I, we're the young mentors. We're the young mentorship because we want to make sure that each kid has a good role model, someone good to look up to so they don't go the wrong route, the wrong way, and then bad things happen in their life, and it's not a good, fruitful life. So that's my answer.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I feel the same thing. I feel like being a mentor in class or out of class, out of school, whenever is a good idea because you get to know how somebody's feeling and you get to help them on different levels of whatever they need. And I feel like that mentoring people is like an amazing job. And I feel that if you do that, then you get to learn about people and you get to know how people feel about different topics. And basically, yeah, I think that is an amazing job.
And that's what I say. And that's how it starts, and that's how it begins. I remember when Matthew was young and I was volunteering in his classroom. I was taking care of all the other kids except him. And he said to me one time, "Why aren't you? Why aren't you helping me out?" I said, "Because you know you have the tools already. Like I know you know what you're doing. I know you got it." I said, "But I need to secure the rest of this room so I can protect you. And the only way I could do that is also by giving to the rest of these children and making a connection so that these hallways that you're walking in and these avenues you're walking up and down, they're gonna have a connection with you." And that's what blessed to happen, because by the time I left the school, I was a dad to many, because I would, well, some parents would come in there and just say, "Hey, I'm gonna help out my kid," and they stay huddled in that one little bubble. I was helping. I was volunteering, saying, "Listen, I'll do all the grades. I'll do those grades, that grade, whatever you need." And all the kids started bonding and saying, "Oh, Mr. Blake is like my other dad," and they would see Noah and Matthew didn't have to deal with a lot of that bullying, and they would support and link with each other. And I was talking to a lot of people in my Unlock the Bars community one time, and I said to them, there was a line I wrote in one of my rhymes where I said, if you ignore the kid next door, if you ignore the kid next door, it's your own at the funeral home you're shopping for. And I believe in that line, and that came from my father, seeing my father when I was young, always out there being an activist in the community, always out there being a father to other children. And I realized when I got older, I was walking down a block one day and some guy ran up on me with a gun in Southside Queens, South Jamaica. And he had a mask on, he had they came out the car ready for business. And as he approached, his eyes softened and I could see through the mask, he kind of jumped back and he said, "Oh, my bad. Tell your father I said what's up." And they jumped back in the car and pulled off. And it was at that moment I said, "I get it, Dad. I get it." And that's how I adapted it to pass it on to my children, to say, "Listen, you got to take care of the community, because the community will protect you and become family." A great question. That's my guy, Dread right there. Salute, Dreadful.
Amen to that. And when they say it takes a village, the reason being because a child won't necessarily talk to his mother or his father about certain things. Sometimes he'll talk to his brother or sister. Sometimes he'll talk to his cousin, his uncle or aunt, his homie, somebody from school. It may not necessarily be you, but the direction and the guidance has to come from somewhere. The love and the care and the concern has to come from somewhere. So the more that we love and care and concern ourselves for others, is the more we spread that energy. And the each one teach one effect. You spread love and that love spreads on. So that's really the point, man. It's like, it does take a village, because one thing can't be resolved with just the child and his parents. It may take other members of the community to help to resolve that energy within that family dynamic. So yes, that's a very good, positive attitude to have. And that's how I am, man. That's why I do all of this, because I was in those positions and in those shoes, and if given the opportunity, I would like to afford children the opportunity to be able to do things differently, try things differently, and for us as adults to see things differently, maybe, and give them the chance to see if it works, try it. And with that being said, we have the Real Dads Network. I'm sure they got a lot to say. Real Dads, how you doing? Real Dad's got your hands up. You can unmute. You want to talk? Real Dad's Network. Yay.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ishmael. I'm part of the Real Dash Network. I hope everyone's doing well. I just have a quick question. How are you utilizing technology to empower the youth as well as to gravitate to a larger audience?
Well, the way that Matthew and I utilize technology, I like the way you worded that, is, well, our main way of marketing is Instagram at Young for Media LLC. That's where we post most of our events, most of our positive segments. And then I also have a segment called Technology Time with Noah that we stated a little bit earlier during the Knowledge Cypher. And Technology Time with Noah is basically, like Matthew explained it, a how-to guide on what to do with technology and things of the sort. Basically just empowering people and giving them knowledge. And we've done many things that to utilize and use technology to its best ability to empower people around the world, because our mission is not just to empower kids, but to empower people around the world. So we've utilized technology in many different ways, and then we've even taken our talents in person. We interviewed Kevin Livingston in 100 Suits, because 100 Suits is something that really, it was a mission that Matthew and I really gravitated to. And the funny thing is 100 Suits asked us if we could interview them, which was, cool. So I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but basically that's how we utilize our technology.
Amen.
And,
go ahead.
And I feel that, like Noah said, there's like millions of people around the world who want to be like taught of how to do certain things. So basically technology is our way to reach everybody from around the world, and basically how we can alert people and let people know when we're available to like post a video based on what somebody wants to learn about. And yeah, basically we utilize technology to reach everybody around the world and use our segments too. Like sometimes I do a coding segment where I teach about coding on Enrichment Fridays, and then Noah has his main segment where he called Technology Time, where he teaches about things about or technology wise, like advancements, and like I said earlier, it's like a how-to book and a guide for technology. So basically, yeah, that's how we utilize technology for Young and Informed.
And I just want to say really quickly, just one last thing about this question. Enrichment Fridays is something that Matthew and I used to do every Friday when we were homeschooled, to also keep us busy and see if we could apply what we were learning while we were homeschooled to the real world. So that's also how we utilized our technology at that time.
Amen. And I just wanted to add to that, we're all utilizing technology right now to do the very job that we set out to do with the Young and Informed. For one, by allowing them to research and look up things, and even from their devices, whether it be from their laptops associated with school or their phones, what they are curious about, what they want to know about, what they want to learn about, they go and search it. That's using technology to empower themselves and to gain knowledge and educate themselves. And then communicate here through us, through social media, through our networks, through my artists. That's another way that technology has empowered us and led us to here. And then to have this platform set up for all of us to be here now sharing all this information and sharing all this great news. So we're all using technology. And this is the immediate result of how we're doing it, because we're all here right now. And, with that being said, I'm grateful for technology in some respect. I feel a little older, well, I'm 50 now, just so you know, Young and Informed. I started at your age. I was 15 when when I recorded my first album, but I'm 50 now. So I am just merging into the technology lane myself. Like I said, if I had 10 of y'all doing my technology, we'd be Mars right now. You see it in the back. We're all using technology, and it is a very important part, but we have to also be careful about technology because there's a lot of misinformation. So you have your due diligence, check various resources, and make sure that the information that you're receiving is not just controlled generic material. You know what I mean? Technology has its ups and its downs, so we just have to be very aware of that as well.
And then, in utilizing that technology, we've had talks where I've, guided them and let them know that just, stay organic, stay consistent, just be yourself. And then that light, just like in real life, that light will gravitate towards you. And then for those areas where it's not so light, that's why a dad is always watching and I'm always in the background, tapped in every message, everything that goes through their channel, I see first. So, they I let them know that they can be themselves, but they also have protection, and that I'm here to make sure that, they're moving on the right path and not intercepting things that are not so young and informed or things of that nature. But it's definitely technology been amazing.
Yeah, I want to jump in for 1 second. First of all, Takbir, as your father, I'm very proud of you and proud of how you are conducting yourself as a father. And I'm proud of my grandchildren as well. This technology that's a very important question, because I can see young and informed as in a war against the negativity that is portrayed in technology and the media towards Black youth. And I see you guys as soldiers against that negative image, and you're putting together a narrative that is more in tune with who you are and what you are, not by being defined by someone else, but you're defining yourselves. And Takbir, I'm really proud of you, helping them to understand that they have a role in how they are and how they live and who they are. And through all of what we're talking about is empowering and having an identity that you have shaped, not the world has shaped, but you have shaped. As a father, I didn't have my father, so when I was growing up. So this is a dream for me to see my son be the kind of father he is to his sons. And knowing Matthew, I know you're going to be powerful fathers to your sons, because you're going to continue keeping this going. So yes, guys, you're soldiers in the war against negativity and poor images. Keep up the fight.
I just want to jump in real fast because I have to run. That just touched me with your granddad. I know my grandfather was one of the most important people in my life, always till his last. That's one of my favorite people that ever walked the planet. You guys stay close to your grandparents, okay? They got a lot for you, but you also have a lot for others. And that just kind of solidified it for me. I was already thinking something anyway. I am lucky enough to have some platforms that could bring awareness to what you guys are doing in a whole different way. So I would like to tap in with your father a little bit later and figure it out. But I'm going to invite you guys to come on to the world famous Wake Up Show. That show has been on longer than either of you ever thought of, and almost longer than I was thought of. It's one of the longest running hip hop shows in existence, and a lot of very famous people got their start there. It's kind of a big deal, okay? It's on Sirius XM, and I'm going to invite you guys to come, and we're going to talk about what you're doing and for this program. And I'm also the editor-in-chief of a website called Boom Bap Nation. And I think the folks there would definitely like to hear about what you guys have going on, and definitely Dad about what you're helping with. I think other fathers need to see it doesn't always take a million people to do one thing at it, together. Sometimes it starts with one guy doing it at a time and making a difference. I was very touched by hearing what you said about going into the schools. I tried to go in and do that same kind of thing and never saw dads doing that. So that's amazing. And Eduardo, you have to come too, because I want to give you your flowers as well. I'm just so proud of you for putting this together and seeing this through. There's some very impressive Black men on this panel today. So just go you, all of you. And I look forward to talking to you guys very soon.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Sky.
you so much.
If I could say something about special ed, man, for me, I'm the boom bap, the old school hip hop, everything. Special ed is, always a special place in my heart. But it was amazing the first phone call that I had with him, just the energy and the spirit and the warmth that came through that phone call. It just bugged me out, and I could never I had to play it smooth. Because I'm like, one part of me is like, yo, this is special ed, and the other part is like, this guy's so humble, man. He talks to you like he's just your brother, man. Like, this is like a family member, and I want to, shout you out for that, because that energy, man, is just encouraging. That the humility is powerful. It rings bells of just to how real you are, in the journey that you've been on. And it's a role model example, because I was right there with my kids, pointing and saying, look how this man carries himself, the journey that he's been on. Look how he's in that journey and still grounded. And this is an example of how I want you guys to be, when your journey sets off. So, I want to salute you and thank you for providing that another role model and another positive image for the community and for the children that they can hold on to and use as a reference, as you mentioned, outside of me and outside of, just hearing the sounding board of their dad all the time, And,
yes, sir.
Thank you very much for all the invites and the Boom Bap Nation and all that. I'm a fan of that too. So, it's a blessing. Thank you.
Amen. Well, I'm just glad that I could help. I could help to be a service, and I could help to provide an avenue or a platform or anything for the youth to be heard, because we do have to stop doing a number of things. One is ignoring our youth and their needs and their cries for help and anything. We have to listen. The children are what we made, so we have to treat them and grow them right and nurture them right so they can grow into the best adults. I'm a father too. I'm a parent as well. I have 3 children, and I probably, like all fathers, learned as I went from one child to the next and it took me probably down to my 3rd child to really learn some of those key the lessons in rearing children and how to deal with them and how not to deal with them. I've made my shares of mistakes. I've had my idea about parenting based on how I was raised, and as we go from generation to generation, a lot changes. How things are done, our approach to things, and just our level of intelligence in our children, the level of intelligence our children grow into. Nowadays, they're practically growing up attached to technology. They probably have tablets in the crib, devices, cameras, observing them in the cradle. So technology is immersed in our children, and they become smarter with that being said too, because now they can look up things on their own. They don't have to say, Mom, what's this? Dad, what's this? Dad, what about this? They can look everything up now. So this is how they're educating themselves. Most kids are like doctors right now. They'll tell you what's wrong with them and you because they on WebMD putting in one symptom. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like I said, the technology has its good and bad. It can worry you to death in that sense, but at least they are learning and they are soaking in what they want to know. School tells you their curriculum. Technology will allow you to go into your own curriculum and your own set of, curiosity. So, with that being said, man, it's just a pleasure to be able to have opportunity to have the young and informed here to speak and to let adults know our children are super intelligent, they are super smart, and they know what they want. They know what they want to know, and we need to help them. We need to help them and respect them just as we respect anyone else that would come up as an adult with an intelligent and sound idea or plan. It's the same way that I was able to go to someone at 15 and say, please record me. I have the skill level that it takes to make records. I want to be recorded. I want to be an artist. And Howie T, Shout outs to Howie T. He was the elder, the big bro in my life that believed in me when I came to him intelligently. And he understood me. And I was able to show them what I could do. So it takes for someone to listen and reach back and say, listen to this person, listen to this child. I know he's young, I know she's young, but just pay attention. You know, so that's why I'm here. My whole life has been about that, you know, and I've publicly been taken advantage of by corporate for many years. Up until now, I'm still struggling with issues, legal issues from when I was 15 years old. So, you know, we're trying to prevent the youth from getting entangled and having to deal with that as well. We want to protect you from now so you don't get into a situation where you're fighting for rights that you might have signed away or been dealing with for 30 plus years now. So we're here so that, you know, we can set you on the right path and let everyone know that we have bright, intelligent kids and we need to love and respect them and give them a lane, you know? Amen.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. It's good to see how this whole thing come full circle on the 50th year anniversary of hip hop, and you happen to be 50, Ed, and your album Youngest in Charge is now building a Youngest in Charge army. You know, this is just the beginning, you know, the proof of how the seeds sprouted up. So like your father commended you, apologize on the name to court. And
Takbir.
Takbir, sorry. All right. You know, you've done an exceptional job, and you're still doing, because one of the things that I was going to state earlier that got stated was that you answered it in the communications about, I was thinking of your children to say to any of their peers, like if they don't have somebody to turn to, hey, you could always lean on my dad. I can loan you my dad, you know, because of the work that you do, but you've already communicated that you've been doing it within the school system. And so I just wanted to say, you know, it's heartfelt, you know, it's definitely, you know, showing off on how your kids articulate their mindset, because at one point, you know, I was thinking they were reading a script off a screen. I was just kind of like analyzing the situation, but they automated, they talking for self, you know, so it's already, they're already clicked on.
Yeah.
Their lights is on and they moving and TikToking. So, you know, the other thing that touched me too was that, you know, when they thought they just came from slaves, and that's, and, you know, I had to correct some others, you know, in the past about that. You were enslaved. So that's the word I always like to see changed within the school curriculum on the come up, because they always say they were slaves. No, they were enslaved. So if you even take that, and moving forward in any setting that you're in, and you hear that, you correct that person, or you correct the teacher, and state that literature is wrong. It should be that they were enslaved. They were, you know, kings, queens. They were of different stature, but they were not born slave. They were enslaved. So that's all I really want to say. I don't want to stay long-winded, but I appreciate, you know, having this forum. You know, Special Ed, you've always been special, and you continue to be. And I love how this is growing. So Seal, long live Seal.
Amen. Absolutely. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming, man. This has been a pleasure. Thank you, Young and Informed, for stepping up to the plate. And I think that you should be representing youth everywhere. And there should be youth organizations and youth such as yourself speaking for youth, and not media speaking for youth. I don't want to hear our youth being sexualized, criminalized. You know, I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear the youth for themselves, speaking for themselves, about themselves. And I don't want to hear statistics that are frankly not real. you know, because I'm out in the streets, I'm out in the schools, I'm everywhere. I see intelligence. I also see ignorance, but I see more intelligence. Ignorance I see for social media. A lot of times I think that a lot of things are staged for social media. They're staged to broadcast and put in a message of this is what it is, this is what it is, when that's not the case in real life. We all here living in real life in real time, and we need to reflect that in our actions and in our speech and how we represent ourselves on any platform or format. So I want to once again commend y'all, welcome you guys back. Anytime you want to open the floor again and speak about anything you want, something might happen next week in the news and you might want to talk about it as our youth. You are always welcome here at Special Ed Arts and Literacy to express yourselves freely. And we love you guys and thanks for joining us. And everyone, thank you all for joining. Until we meet again next time, I say peace to all.
Have an amazing day, everyone.
Peace.
Thank you for letting us come on.
Peace, everyone.
Amen. All right, this meeting will come to an end and I thank you all for joining.